Shotguns are pissing players off in Verdansk Warzone 2025. Akimbo is fuel to fire. Verdansk has long been a battlefield where meta weapons rise and fall, shaping the rhythm of every firefight and the strategies of every squad. In 2025, however, one particular category of weapons has crossed the threshold from overpowered to outright infuriating: shotguns. Once seen as niche tools for close-quarters supremacy, shotguns have now become a dominant force in the game, and for many players, they represent everything that's currently broken in Warzone. The addition of Akimbo functionality to some of the most lethal shotgun models hasn't just tipped the scales, it's obliterated them. The core issue stems from how these weapons are functioning in-game compared to their intended balance. Shotguns in Warzone 2025 are now capable of dropping fully armored players in under a second, sometimes without giving them a chance to react. Whether in tight urban combat zones like the Verdansk Stadium or during chaotic building breaches in downtown, the combination of high damage, wide pellet spread, and absurd fire rates with Akimbo-equipped shotguns creates a near-unstoppable force. The frustrating part isn't just their power, it's the fact that they reward reckless rush tactics and ignore the game's usual skill curve. Players have flooded social media and in-game forums with clips of these encounters, showcasing the absurdity of being instantly deleted by dual-wielding shotgunners. Many veteran players argue that the Akimbo setup strips Warzone of its tactical depth. Instead of outmaneuvering or outgunning your opponent with smart positioning and accuracy, the winner is often simply the player who jumped around a corner with two shotguns and pulled the triggers first. For a game built on a mixture of gun skill, strategy, and teamwork, this meta disrupts the foundation. Compounding the problem is how easily these weapons can be acquired and customized. Loadout drops give players rapid access to Akimbo shotguns fitted with the deadliest attachments: 12-gauge slug rounds, ultra-tight hipfire spread, and mobility-enhancing stocks. With minimal recoil and no need to aim down sights, players are incentivized to spam fire their way through encounters. Combine this with speed-boosting perks and movement exploits, and the Akimbo shotgun user becomes a blur of death that's difficult to track or counter, especially on console where aim precision is limited by hardware. The sentiment among the broader community is that this isn't just another overpowered weapon cycle, it's a breakdown of design philosophy. Warzone is at its best when engagements feel fair and wins are earned through positioning, awareness, and teamwork. Akimbo shotguns invert that equation, creating a meta that's closer to a melee brawl than a battle royale shooter. This change has discouraged players from using a diverse range of weapons and has funneled many into abusing the same overpowered setup, further warping the gameplay experience. It's also having a ripple effect on how players approach the map itself. High-density combat zones like Superstore, Train Station, and Hospital, which previously offered balanced, dynamic encounters, have turned into shotgun havens. Players now avoid open fields and long-range fights in favor of cramped quarters where they can abuse Akimbo mechanics. This creates a homogeneous style of play that reduces Verdansk's vast landscape to a series of interior shotgun duels, which runs counter to what made the map great in the first place. Even streamers and professional players, often the most adaptable segment of the community, have voiced their frustration. Several high-profile names have publicly criticized the current shotgun meta, threatening to shift their content or take breaks until balance patches arrive. Their criticism isn't just about the weapons being strong, but about them being unfun to play against and unfun to watch. For a game that thrives on community engagement and content creation, that's a warning sign developers can't afford to ignore. The developers have responded in the past to balancing issues, but the current shotgun situation seems to have reached a critical mass. While minor tweaks and nerfs have been attempted, none have addressed the root of the problem: the Akimbo system itself. Dual-wielding shotguns removes the limitations that balance these weapons in the first place, like slow reloads or low range, and replaces them with overwhelming firepower and insane time-to-kill ratios. Unless Akimbo is outright disabled or heavily reworked, many fear that the shotgun dominance will persist and further alienate the player base. Adding fuel to the fire is how these changes have impacted ranked and tournament play. Teams are now building compositions specifically around shotgun rushers, reducing the competitive integrity of high-stakes matches. Instead of balanced gunfights and strategic rotations, many tournaments now devolve into who can get to a building first and hold it with dual shotguns. This meta shift not only damages the viewing experience but also makes it harder for less aggressive or tactical teams to succeed. What's most disappointing is the lost potential for variety and creativity in weapon choice. Warzone has always thrived on giving players options, whether it was a sniper AR combo, a stealthy SMG build, or a heavy LMG hold. Akimbo shotguns have rendered much of that irrelevant. Why bother learning recoil patterns or optimizing loadouts when you can just sprint through doors with 2 handheld cannons and wipe entire squads? The skill ceiling drops, and with it, the reason many players keep returning to the game. If there's a silver lining, it's that the community has made its voice loud and clear. The backlash has been consistent, unified, and filled with examples of the meta's problems. There's still time for the developers to fix this. Nerfing shotgun damage, disabling Akimbo for certain classes, or introducing hard counters could all be viable solutions. But the longer they wait, the more likely it is that Warzone 2025 will be remembered not for its innovations or evolution, but for the season when dual shotguns hijacked the battlefield. In conclusion, Verdansk's current shotgun meta, supercharged by the reckless implementation of Akimbo, has created a toxic gameplay loop that sacrifices balance, fun, and skill. While Warzone has weathered other meta storms before, this one strikes at the heart of fair play and player agency. If changes aren't made swiftly and decisively, the game risks losing both its casual fans and its competitive core, 2 pillars no live service title can afford to alienate.